Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wherever you are in the world at the moment. This is Mr. Duncan live on YouTube. The live stream will begin in a few moments from now. I am live from the centre of Shrewsbury, a lovely town. You might describe it as historical, a place that is full of history. Because the weather is so nice, I couldn't resist coming out and saying hello to you. But I suppose the big question is, where are you, Mr. Duncan? I can't see you. Come on, Mr. Duncan, reveal yourself to us all. Okay, I'm going to do that right now. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling happy today. We are out and about. I thought today we would do something a little bit different. So that is what we are doing. We are doing a live stream from the centre of Shrewsbury. It's around about 17 miles away from where I live in Much Wenlock. It is a beautiful place, a place that is, you might describe it as steeped in history. When we describe something as steeped in history, it means it has a lot of historical value from the past, things from the past that a certain place can be well known for or famous for. Now I've just realised I haven't got my reading glasses. I'm not wearing my reading glasses, unfortunately, so that might cause one or two problems. Very interesting. Okay, we are on, we are live, and I'm wondering if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I suppose that's the first question I should ask. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please say yes, Mr. Duncan. We can hear you loud and clearly. That would be ever so good. So we are out today. Spring has officially arrived. It is here. Are you happy to see spring? Spring is now in the air. Although today the weather is very strange because we have sunshine, we also have occasional rain as well. So don't be too surprised if I suddenly have to run away and take cover. To take cover is to protect yourself from anything. It can be the rain, it can be the snow. You take cover from something that is harmful. There is something going on behind me. Can you see what is happening behind me? Something is happening. What is happening? What is going on? I feel as if someone is watching me. Someone very close to me. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is the one, the only Mr. Steve. Hello, Mr. Steve.
Hello, Mr. Duncan. I was just walking through Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury. There are two ways of pronouncing the name of this particular town. And I saw Mr. Duncan. I thought, that looks like Mr. Duncan. I'll go and say hello. What a coincidence that you were in Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury at the same time as I was.
Let's just call it Shrewsbury.
Yes.
And have done. It is Shrewsbury, and that is what I'm calling it. I'm sure lots of locals around here would challenge me to a fist fight over the name.
Duncan, we're in the sun, Mr. Duncan. Do you know how damaging that is to your skin? And I haven't got any Factor 30 with me.
Well, only your paper-thin skin. Mr. Steve, if he goes out in the sun for too long, he fries like a piece of bacon.
You know, it looks lovely out here today, doesn't it? The sun's out, but it's actually freezing cold.
I can tell that Steve hasn't done this for a while because he seems to keep forgetting that the microphone has to be pointed at him before he can say something like this.
I don't, I don't understand the protocols, Mr. Duncan, associated with live streams.
Protocols, that's a big word. The protocols, the correct way of doing a certain things that you must do in a certain order. The protocols, the correct ways of
Is it?
doing certain things.
Yes, I introduced a new word already, Mr. Duncan. But yes, it's freezing cold out here today. It's probably only about 6 degrees, but in the wind it's more like 3 degrees. Wind chill factor, as they call it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot hotter in other places like Italy, for example. If anyone is watching in Italy or France, maybe you could tell us what your temperature is there.
Is it hot? Is it hot in Italy or France or even, well, anywhere in the world? So not just Europe, but anywhere, wherever you happen to be in the world. So for those wondering where we are in Shrewsbury. That is how I'm pronouncing it, and that is how everyone from now on will pronounce it as well. We have the live chat. Of course, I have made the mistake of not putting my reading glasses on
Oh,
because I'm very, very old.
well, that's where I can come in handy, Mr. Duncan.
And the other problem is YouTube have made the live chat much smaller.
I can read it perfectly.
Good, okay then.
But of course, if I mash my fingers onto the screen, I could delete the live stream.
Well, yes. The problem is Mr. Steve has big, thick sausage fingers.
So you tell me what to do, Mr. Duncan.
No.
I will. Hi, teacher. Oh, nice day there. Yes, it is a nice day, but it's cold, as
We
I've
have
already said.
Hamad, hello. Hello, Beatrice. Hello also to A4G. I'm not sure what that name is. It's all sorts of random letters. Also, we have English teacher Fernanda. English teacher Fernanda.
Greetings from Spain. What temperature is it in Spain at the moment?
Is it
We'd like
hot?
to know.
Is it hot in
Fernando.
Is it hot in Spain? Well, what you don't realise, Mr. Steve, is Speak English with Fernando was with us last Sunday on the live stream. But of course, Steve wasn't with us last Sunday. It was just me on my own. I'm really annoyed that I haven't got my reading glasses. I might go round the corner to one of the opticians and see if they have a spare pair of reading glasses so I can see the screen. Who else is here? Palmyra is here. Hello, Beatrice. What a surprise. Well, you know what, in life, Steve, what I always say in life, you should, from time to time, have a surprise.
That's true. Where's mine then, Mr. Duncan? I want a surprise.
Well, this is it. This is the surprise. See, Mr. Steve this morning didn't realise, you didn't know this morning that we were going to be here standing in the middle of Shrewsbury doing a live stream. So you might say that the whole live stream is the surprise. Ooh.
There's a clock up there, Mr. Duncan, on what looks like some kind of town hall.
That's that building that you're looking at that no one can see on
I know.
camera. Wait there, if I turn the camera around like that, and now it will probably destroy my live stream. There it is. You can see there is an old building. That particular building there is medieval. That thing, I think that is around 900 years old, that. It's been around for a very long time. So you might describe this as the central meeting place in Shrewsbury town centre.
But what I was going to point out was
Mhm.
that the clock is wrong. The clock is slow.
Well, it is 1,000 years old.
Are you sure it's that old, Mr. Duncan? But it's wrong, so we're not going to go by that clock as to when we're going to end the live stream.
Many of the buildings in Shrewsbury are actually medieval. And there is an interesting story surrounding Shrewsbury, or Shrewsbury. The fact that this used to be a large settlement, which was... Now, normally when you build a settlement, you normally have a large wall surrounding the town or the city. Well, this is unusual because it didn't have one. Instead, it has the river, because the River Severn goes all the way round Shrewsbury. So you might describe the river as the boundary or the fort or the fortress, and it was very good at keeping people away.
Yes. I'm not sure who they were trying to keep out. It could have been the Welsh or it could have been the British. I don't know whether Shrewsbury was.
Yes, it was the Welsh. You have to
Right.
remember the history of the Welsh and the English. They were fighting and disagreeing quite a lot. In fact, there are two bridges here in Shrewsbury. One is called the English Bridge, and that one, of course, goes into England. And on the opposite side, there is the Welsh Bridge. Surprisingly, that will take you into Wales. So it just shows how this particular town was originally built.
Yes, the British and the English and the Welsh have a lot of history in terms of fighting each other and hating each other. And in fact, if you go into certain parts of Wales now, the English people aren't really welcome. We've been into
Well,
pubs.
yes. Well, you have to remember also the Welsh were cast out of England. So this particular hatred has been going on for maybe, I would say, at least 1,500 years, which is a very long time to hold a grudge.
That's it. There's always rivalry. So whenever there's football matches or particularly rugby matches, then Wales, England, always a lot of competition. Same with Scotland because of the history of fighting, trying to take over people's land. But it's all fine now. Everybody gets on, except if you go into a pub in certain parts of Wales and you're English, they don't like it.
But generally speaking, Welsh people are very friendly, but sometimes they don't seem to like the English. But as I just mentioned, there is a long standing disagreement between the English and the Welsh, and of course you might also say the English and the Scots as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
all of this, all of these battles and disagreements, even though most of them are now over, they are still going on in certain ways.
We've got pigeons, Mr. Duncan. Pigeons are circulating, and they're walking around on the paving stones
Mhm.
beneath our feet.
Wow.
Obviously, after some food, pecking away,
Mhm.
and I would imagine people will feed them. Pigeons, of course, are a blight. A blight. There's a good word, Mr. Duncan. A bl-
Blight. Something is a blight. BLIGHT. Blight is just an occurrence of something bad happening. So a blight might kill off the crops in a field. Blight can be something that is really annoying or negative that is
Yes.
around you.
Yes, something that causes annoyance, disturbance, or maybe even damage. And of
Mm.
course, the pigeons, what they do is they land on the buildings, and they poop all over the. There we've got poop into this live stream, Mr. Duncan. They poop all over the buildings and cause a mess, and they nest, and they're noisy, and you're not supposed to feed them, but of course people do. There's a pigeon right near your foot, Mr. Duncan.
Good. Okay. Well, at least we're getting live updates of the pigeon situation here in Shrewsbury. I hope you're enjoying it.
Well, if you look at that, you can't quite see the top. Some of the buildings that they have spikes and netting over the tops of some of the buildings to stop the pigeons landing.
You know, of all the beautiful architecture around here, all of the old buildings, look at these buildings behind us. So some of these buildings, the black and white buildings, they are probably 700 or 800 years old, way back in time. In fact, some of them are probably older than that. And that gives you a clue as to just how important Shrewsbury was in the past, but also is now, because nowadays many people come here. There is a castle as well, Steve.
How exciting! Are we going to go there, Mr. Duncan,
Well,
today?
not today, no.
Aren't we? I thought we were going to. Well, yeah. But
Well-
if we could go to the castle, then or castle, as I would pronounce it. Mr. Duncan pronounces it castle, which is fine. But I would pronounce it because I'm posh. I would say castle.
Okay, so the castle.
yeah, castle or castle.
Steve,
Yeah, but I'm just, this is an English teaching. People need to know the different
yeah,
pronunciations.
you've just explained it. Move on.
So we were going to go there and maybe film. Maybe we could film from there another time. But it's fascinating.
Well,
I
it's
think.
at the moment, as I mentioned to you earlier, Steve, it's covered with scaffolding and it's having lots of renovation work done. So it's not a good time to go to the castle, which is the reason why we're not there today, because they are doing some major repairs.
Yes. So that building, the black and white building, you can see in the middle between the two of us. Yes, it's hundreds of years old, I would imagine, and of course it's a wooden frame. So the black is wood, and the white is probably some kind of wattle and daub or something like that. They used to.
Yes, it is interesting to see these types of buildings. Many of them are made of what I would describe as flammable material. In fact, now and
Yes.
again, some of these buildings do catch fire. In fact, just a couple of months ago, there was a tragic incident where one of the buildings here in Shrewsbury caught fire, and one lady, who was the owner of the shop underneath, she sadly died in the fire. So sometimes these buildings, they look lovely, but they will catch fire very easily.
Yes, because they used to be timber framed, and then they would fill in the gaps between the timber with a mixture of horsehair and mud,
Mm.
and that would provide the insulation. But of course, it's a bit flammable, as you can imagine. Horsehair,
Especially-
so if I was to do this, Mr.
Especially
Duncan,
the well, as long as your big fat finger isn't in the way.
please, right? Am I doing the right? So, tell me what to do, Mr. Duncan, to get the live.
Well, you just do that.
Okay, right. Can I go back? Yes. Oh, yes. Hi, Mr. Duncan from India. My name is. Oh, I can't read that.
Oh, I thought you could read it.
Oh, no, sorry, I can't.
I think that's Darli or Daili.
All right.
Daili in India. Hello, Daili in India.
Just looking for stork nests and found you. Is the picture mirrored? No, that's the picture right behind us. It says Dorothy, 8491. I
Oh,
think
it
it's
is.
that
It is
really.
mirrored. Yes, it is mirrored. You are right.
Right.
See, if you look at my English Addict, it's the wrong way round. And I don't know why YouTube does not correct that. Why YouTube, if you're listening, can you move over slightly? YouTube, if you're listening, could you please allow us to stop the mirroring effect? Because everything is back to front, you see? It says English Addict, but it's the wrong way round. So come on, YouTube. You don't get that on TikTok. On TikTok, they let you correct it.
So, yes, somebody says I can't read the name.
Mm.
I think it's Marcia. Yes, Marcia says, is this town close to Much Wenlock? Yes, it is.
About 17 miles.
17 miles, and it is a similar style. So, probably a similar age, medieval, lots of old buildings, black and white buildings that need a lot of maintenance.
In fact, at one time, Shrewsbury was an important fort or an important enclosure to keep the Welsh out of England. It's true.
Is there anything I can do wrong here with my finger that could cancel the live stream?
There is always something you can do wrong with your fingers, Mr. Steve. Mr.
Yeah.
Steve's fingers
Those
sometimes.
similar to German style in my city. Well, yes, I expect similar age. I would imagine it was a building strategy that was all over Europe at the time.
Yeah. They all got together and agreed that all of their buildings would look like black and white, matchstick made houses, shops, offices, and buildings. I think you're right.
I've just reading. There's a statue over there. Oh yes, can you see the statue? Yes, the statue behind Mr. Duncan's head.
Yes. Well, all you can see are his feet, unfortunately.
That is a statue of a military man who was part of the East India Company,
Oh dear.
and which is controversial history of going around and procuring land, shall we say, in
Land
India.
and also slaves.
Well, certainly procuring land and sending all the profits back to to England at the time. So there's a statue to him here, which I'm surprised hasn't been vandalised.
Why?
Because,
Why would it be
well,
vandalised?
because a lot of people now in the UK are protesting against things that they perceive that the British Empire was very bad at doing. And
Yeah. When you say things that we were bad at doing, you mean conquering loads of the world, putting people into servitude, and taking slaves around the world to different places to which they did not want to go.
Well, no,
That's that sort of thing.
well, no, they didn't do that in India.
No,
But
I didn't say India. You were just talking generally.
generally, yeah, but we're not going to be judgmental. We're just stating facts.
How do you feel about it, Steve? Are you a bit ashamed or embarrassed? See, I find it hard to be ashamed and embarrassed because I am here now, maybe 600 or 700 years later. So, Steve, for the love of
We're back.
Steve, just here's a good idea, Steve. I've just realized I haven't done a live stream with Steve for a long time, and I've just remembered the reason why. It's because Steve generally interferes with the equipment.
I don't know all the technicalities, Mister. I don't know where to press, what to push my fingers on. Yes, please. Thank you very much, Marcia, for reminding people to like the video,
Please like this, or else I will cry for the rest of the day.
even if you don't like it.
Even if you don't like it, please like it.
Because
If you hate me, if you feel as if the next time you see me you want to punch me in the face, even you, could you please like this live stream?
I'm just watching two pigeons.
Okay, Steve.
One is chasing the other one because it's spring. They're getting frisky, and obviously a male is chasing the female.
I'm starting to worry about Steve because he seems to do nothing but talk about pigeons.
Well, it's the most interesting thing that's going on at the moment.
There's hundreds of interesting things going on around us.
Oh, yes.
We are surrounded by history. We are literally immersed in history.
What about that? What about that? There, Mr.
I don't know
Duncan.
what
Should we
you've done.
talk about
This
that?
screen is all wrong now. I don't know what you've done, Steve. I just wish you would just leave this everything alone. Oh my God, what's going on? This is all wrong now.
What about that thing down there?
Just
Why
don't
you press
no,
that?
don't do it. I don't know. No, Steve, no. I'm not taking advice from you.
Can you still see us?
Yes.
Are we still visible?
I think people can still see us, but the screen has gone all weird. It's gone into a strange. Oh dear. We're never doing this again, by the way. This is the last time that you'll ever see Steve on anything
What
that
about
I
that one
do.
there?
No, don't do anything, Steve. I don't know what you've done, but
It
you're
looks
big.
all right to me.
No, it's all wrong. It's doing something different.
Anyway, what about that thing over there? We can talk about that.
Yes. Oh, yes. That. See, I can't go over there at the moment. Sorry, the helicopters are coming now. I think they're on their way to Iran.
They've got a long way to
Bye.
go. They're not going very fast.
Bye, guys. Bye.
The Easter Bunny, Mr. Duncan.
Sorry?
The Easter Bunny.
Yes, the blue thing behind me. If you were wondering what the blue thing is behind me over there, that is a bunny rabbit. I am annoyed that this is all back to front because now everything looks weird. It's very annoying. Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Allow us to unmirror the picture. I don't know what is happening here now. It's very strange.
What about that one at the top? That looks like it might do something.
No, that just turns. I don't know what you've done, Steve.
This is it. You see, my fingers. Once my fingers go on a screen,
Mm-hmm.
anything can happen.
I know, but this is all wrong now. It all looks weird.
Does it look weird to you,
No,
viewers?
it won't look weird to everyone watching. It looks weird to me controlling the live stream. I think.
Hello from Ukraine. Hello, Ruth.
Hello,
Lovely to see you here.
Hello, Ukraine.
Yes.
Oh,
'cause,
is that it, Steve?
I was trying to say, I was going to say something. I've got to be very careful what I say.
Well, yes, be careful what you say.
Because obviously we're live and I don't want to upset Mr. Duncan any more than I already have
Well,
done.
you don't upset me. You might upset people watching. And to be honest with you, I do like people watching. I like it when people watch. I don't like it when they don't watch.
Anyone want a pigeon update?
The latest news from Shrewsbury is there are lots and lots of pigeons flying around. Some of them are feeling very excited. They are in the mood for love.
If you watch the screen on one of the you might see a lady walking past with blue hair. There we go. She's just going past now over Mr. Duncan's shoulder. There we go. Blue hair is quite popular in the UK.
So you seem to have a problem with that, Steve.
Well, I just think it's unusual. I mean, obviously I've got no option to dye my hair any colour because I don't have any hair.
I think you're just jealous because you can't dye yours.
I would love the opportunity to say, I've got hair, I'm going to dye it pink or
See,
blue.
Just a few moments ago, Steve was talking about pigeons, and now we have seagulls. Seagulls that have come to say hello. And there is always something my parents used to tell me, Steve, about not pigeons. I've got pigeons on the brain now because of Steve. My parents used to say, if you ever see seagulls in a town miles away from the sea, it means that the weather on the coast is really bad.
Could be. Of course, we do get lots of seagulls coming into towns because there's lots of free food for them.
Yes.
Because of all the burger bars and fast food restaurants.
So are birds going into burger bars, are they? Are they going in there and ordering a Big Mac and then flying away with it in their beaks?
Well, of course, because of tipping and, when you throw your rubbish away in the dustbin and the dustbin men or women, we actually do have a dustbin woman who comes and empties our bins for us now.
Okay, is there a point to this?
There is a point, yes. So these all this rubbish goes to landfill sites.
Okay, that's basically where all the rubbish goes.
So it goes to an vast open area, and the pigeons like to go there because, of course, they look for food, and maybe bits of jewellery, clothing that they might want to wear. They just pick through all the rubbish, but they're looking for food, and a lot of restaurants, of course, dump all their food outside for collection.
So what, Steve, can I just shorten this because it might be basically the pigeons will eat the food that people drop on the floor.
I just noticed there's a policewoman, Mr. Duncan.
Yeah, we're not doing anything illegal.
I know, but you never know.
What you never know? You never know. What you mean? We might be doing something illegal.
I don't know. Well, whenever you see a policeman, it always makes me nervous. Well, that was a policewoman.
Is this your past catching up with you?
No, but I've got to be, I've got to be careful. I've got a certain reputation.
That's true.
Maybe, I need to be in disguise so that I'm not discovered for any past crimes.
Could you please show other parts of Shrewsbury? Okay, just a moment. No, it's not difficult. It's easy. I just picked the camera up. Okay, now here we are. Here we go. That's a more dramatic view. Do you like that view? Look at that. So now we're looking down the main square. There we go. So we don't have to be right next to the camera. So there is the old building that I mentioned earlier. Very old, an old structure. It has been preserved over the years quite well. And
A bit like Mr. Duncan.
sorry?
A bit like me. I've been well preserved over the years.
I'm not sure about that.
Do you want to go into the main street and have a look around, or is that a bit difficult?
No, we're not going into the main street because I have a huge tripod that people might trip over, but I am going to show you the rabbit. Here we go. Because a lot of people, I'm sure, really want to see the rabbit. So now we are moving around. This is what people on TikTok do, you see. They go outside and they walk around. Take a look at this. I'm not sure what. There we go. There you go, just behind me. You can see there is a giant rabbit. There it is. Look at that. Can you see the rabbit? And the reason why there is a giant rabbit is because, as someone quite rightly said, Easter is on the way. Easter is coming.
And you know what that means, Mr. Duncan? What do we consume a lot of at Easter?
Easter eggs, chocolate.
Exactly. Even though we're trying to be healthy, and after recent bouts of tests, then it's unlikely.
Whether we've got to move out the way because some people want to take a photograph.
Oh, right.
You see, I'm being such a. There we go. Isn't that lovely? I've just been told off by a lady. She said, "Get out the way, you stupid man."
No, they were quite nice about it. Of course, we're not local, so blimey,
Oh,
I'm all
so
over the place.
Steve is absolutely no help to me whatsoever. Oh my God, Steve!
What do you want me to do?
Oh. There we go. That's better.
And we're back.
I don't know why. I've noticed some of the buses in Shrewsbury are really noisy, and I think it's because they've got some strange form of power. Maybe it's electricity, or maybe it's hydrogen. But they do make the strangest sounds sometimes.
I
Anyway,
think, Mr. Duncan, it's the because we're in a narrow street here.
hmm,
The buses are diesel powered, and the brakes make this. It's all the sound is reflecting off the narrow streets
yeah.
and making it seem louder than it really is.
But I think these buses are either driven by something unusual, maybe some sort of power. Maybe they're solar powered.
It's just diesel.
Yeah. Wait. Anyway, we have people behind us. Just move over, Steve. That's it. There we go. So there is the big rabbit, and there is the lady. So these people here got angry with me, and they said, "Get out the way, you stupid idiot." That's not very nice, is it? And the one woman, I think she was going to hit me. I think she was going to hit me. I think so. I think she was going to give me a little slap in the face. Anyway, they're having fun. Let them have their fun. Come on, Mr. Duncan, leave them alone. Let them enjoy their day.
There's a lot of buses, Mr. Duncan. There's a bus about every 30 seconds.
Well, we are in a town centre.
I know, it's very well served by the buses.
Yes. Well, this is because we're in the countryside. What people don't realise is just how close we are to the countryside. So even though it looks as if we're in a busy place, if you go outside Shrewsbury, all over the place, there are lots and lots of small villages, and some people can't get around, they can't travel easily because they don't have a car. So you have to have buses. Look, you can see them now going by. Buses going by, buses going by. So there is a good example of a typical Shrewsbury bus.
There's a very interesting building up there, Mr. Duncan.
Hang on a second, Steve. Let me just. Oh yes, that's a good idea. Which one?
That brown one.
The brown one. They're all brown. Hang on. Which one?
Yeah, that one in the middle.
Oh, I see. The one in the middle of the screen. Yes, I would say that that's probably a very old building. Oh, look, I can zoom in. I forgot I could do that. So there we go, zooming in. Yes, look at that building. So I would imagine, Steve, that building must be 800 or 900 years old. So that is a real old medieval built building.
It certainly is. It looks like it needs painting. But obviously they have to maintain these very scrupulously with all sorts of methods of preservation.
Welcome to Mr. Steve Scrupulous. You know, you might be the first person to use the word scrupulous for about 200 years.
You mean scrupulous? Yes, if you're scrupulous, it means you do something very methodically. If you scrupulously clean yourself in the morning, it means that you are very, very, efficient.
Steve is
And-
using one complicated word to describe another complicated word. Methodical. You do something in a certain way. Anyway, where are
And
we?
we're back.
There we are. We're back.
Somebody asked, is that rabbit made of chocolate? If it were, I would be diving into it right now and chewing off bits of it.
I would go straight for its ears. I would chew at least one of its ears straight off.
But we will be having, of course, lots of chocolate at Easter, although not as much as usual on account of Mr. Duncan's blood test results.
What?
So we've got to be very careful about having too much chocolate.
My blood test results. There we go. Now people are going to wonder what that's all about. For those wondering, it isn't what you think. It's not that one. But yes, I just love food. Can I just say something to everyone? I love food very much. And I'm sure you do as well.
I think everybody knows that. I think most people love food, Mr. Duncan. I don't think it's just you.
Yes, well, I didn't say I did.
But of course, you've got to cut down on the sugar.
Too much sugar, you see. And the problem is now we have Easter coming. Easter is on the way. And you know what that means? That means that once again we will be eating lots and lots of chocolate. This was a terrible idea, putting my bag over the tripod. Just a moment. That's better. Now I can move around freely.
Oh,
Now
well, that, Mr. Duncan.
there we go. You see, we can move much easier now. Isn't that better? And
I wonder at the time, but didn't think I'd say anything.
we can't hear you, by the way.
There we go. There's another view. A spectacular view.
Look at the views today. See now people are asking Mr. Duncan, show us what Shrewsbury is like. And now you are getting it. You are getting the full image.
Bustling is the word, bustling. That means that there's a lot going on, people moving around, lots of different things happening. Well, actually, there isn't that much happening.
Okay, that was a quick change of mind. It's so busy here. There's so much going on. Oh no, there's nothing going on. It's very quiet.
We're sort of blocking the pavement here.
Don't worry, Steve. Steve always worries. He always thinks we're in the way, but we're not. Here is the rabbit. Let's have a close look at the rabbit. There it is. It's a big rabbit. Can you see the size of the rabbit? Look at that. It's huge. I don't know why it's here, but I know it has something to do with Easter coming. So Easter is on the way. I'm not sure. When is Easter, Steve? When is it?
Easter's in a couple of weeks, I think. Or it might be next weekend.
Next
I think
weekend.
it's next weekend, and not this weekend, next weekend. By the way, I've just noticed at the bottom that this rabbit,
Yeah.
you can win £50.
You have to guess the name.
You have to guess the name of the rabbit, and if you guess it correctly, you win £50.
£50. Wow. Imagine all the chocolate you can buy with £50.
Yes, quite. It depends really. If you buy very expensive chocolates or very cheap chocolate.
So there it is, the large bunny rabbit that is in the centre of Shrewsbury at the moment. For those wondering, yes, we are live. We are live from the centre of, well, a lot of people think that this is a city, but Shrewsbury is a town. Shrewsbury is a town. So here he is. This is Clive, although it's all reversed because YouTube is useless. Clive, the Clive statue. So they call him Clive of India. And let's just move the camera up, and there he is, looking very proud of himself for all of his wonderful rather politically incorrect achievements.
Well, that's what happens if you do things and conquer land and whatever, because you get a statue made for you at some point.
We do seem to have a habit in this country of building statues for people who've done horrible, horrible things in the past.
Well, of course, at the time it wasn't horrible. judging by today's standards,
Okay.
it's obviously questionable, but judged by the standards of 1750, uh, then everything was up for grabs, wasn't it? Then all the different countries around Europe were all competing to gain land in different parts of the world.
They wanted to conquer the world, didn't they?
Well, that's it, and the British Empire was competing against the Portuguese, the Spanish, the French, were all competing to grab as much land around the world as they could. And this was one particular gentleman who tried to get bits of India, and obviously was quite successful at it.
There were many, of course, many who did very similar things. We're going to walk this way. Walk this way, everyone. For those wondering, what the hell is this load of rubbish? We are now live in Shrewsbury doing a live stream. Can I show you something? I'm going to show you a place where we had a cup of coffee earlier. And all I can say is it's the most amazing place. If you ever get a chance to come to Shrewsbury, I recommend that you go to this particular place, even though, as I said already, YouTube has reversed the image. So this is the Côte Brasserie. French, yes.
It's a French restaurant. What did we say the Côte stood for something, didn't it? Was it
Coast.
Coast, that's it.
So the word côte means coast in French.
And obviously we're hoping to get a free meal now that we're advertising them.
Well, we're not advertising them really because their sign is back to front. Anyway, there it is. There it is. For those those who want later to reverse the image, there is the place. But it does have the most amazing coffee and also the most incredible food. So after this live stream has finished, we are actually going in here to sample some of the food. So that's what we're doing in a few moments from now after we've finished this live stream. So I think we will probably do 1 hour, and then we will go here and have something to eat. Does that sound like a good idea? I think so. I really do wish YouTube would allow us to have the image the right way round, because it's so annoying when you can't show things on screen.
Look at these lovely flowers, Mr. Duncan.
Look at these flowers. Aren't they lovely? Aren't they beautiful?
It's pansies.
Yes, there are quite a few pansies around here at the moment. A lot of pansies in this area. And this, look here. So within this area, I have to say this is quite fascinating. Look, so this is the large building I was showing you earlier. And look, underneath you can walk around, and upstairs in the building there is a cinema. Can you believe it?
I wonder what's on, Mr. Duncan. Shall we? There could be an interesting film on. Look, there's a giant spire in the background there from one of the many churches. Shrewsbury has many churches.
It does.
And you can see a lot of them from Much Wenlock. A lot of the spires sticking up, pointing to the sky. All sorts of denominations of churches, and it's interesting that you can see them from a long distance away. There's one, a spire sticking up.
It's not quite as dramatic as it looks in real life.
Behind us, Mr. Duncan, there is a shop. Yeah, well, yes. So there's an interesting spire. Behind us is it shows you how much money there is in this particular town.
How much money there is here? Yes.
There's a lot of people who live here are quite wealthy, and that is indicative of the fact that there is a shop.
Indicative.
Yes. What is pointing me in the direction of thinking there's a lot of money in this town.
So what does indicative mean?
It indicates something. It's pointing towards, giving you an impression that people have money here because there is a barber shop. Barber. Now, barber is
Is that where you have your hair cut?
a different type of barber. Barbour.
So it's a brand.
It's a brand, and if anybody knows anything about brands, they will know that Barber is a very upmarket brand. And if you've got a barber shop in your town, it means that people have a lot of money because
You do realise that the captions will not spell it like that. It will spell it like the place where you have your hair cut.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
yes. So there's also I've seen a jeweller's that has selling Rolex watches that start from £10,000. So yeah, there's obviously a lot of people with money here. Who are willing to spend a lot of money. For example, I looked in the barber shop,
Not the place where you have your hair cut though. That's a different place.
pronounced the same, but spelt differently. Or is it spelt differently?
God almighty. Hello everyone, this is an English teaching channel for people who don't care how they spell words. Here we go, let's have a look. So this is the place that Mr. Steve mentioned. So I'm going to show you now so there is no confusion, because later on the subtitles will have the wrong word. So I'm going to show you now. Here we go. So this is the name of the shop. Out the way, Steve. Steve is everywhere you want to be. There it is. So that is the name of the shop. So now there is no possibility of getting confused. So this particular shop is very high fashion for those who live in the countryside. There we go. You see? It's very sophisticated. It's very
Why are we
chic.
advertising?
Well, you started it, Steve. Steve just asked, why are you advertising them?
Didn't know you were going to actually go over. But yes,
I wanted to show the sign.
no prices on anything. Even Mr. Duncan, you wouldn't be able to even afford to buy yourself a peaked hat like you have on now.
Well, I can't afford to buy anything anyway, just generally, from anywhere. So now we know. So that's the shop that Steve was talking about. And if you go in there to buy things, generally it means you are very wealthy.
I'm going to go in there and get a whole new outfit after we finish this live stream. But I do know that even what do you call these hats, Mr. Duncan? A baseball cap. Even something as simple as a baseball cap is probably £120.
Really?
Yes,
That's too expensive. I can't afford that.
exactly, which is why we won't be going in there.
We can always go in there and steal the things. We can always go in and shoplift.
Well,
So,
there is
so
that-
you can cause a distraction, and then I can fill my coat up with lots and lots of stolen goods.
there's nobody actually in the shop. I've noticed that the shop is completely empty, which is hard to sell. But then they only have to sell one thing a day to make a profit, I would imagine. But there you go.
I wonder if pigeons ever go in there.
Pigeons. There's somebody just. I think they're shut. Oh no, they're not. Oh, that's interesting. There was a man in one shop next door who I thought looked like he was hanging up clothes in the barber shop, and now he's gone through to another shop next door. So he must work at both of them simultaneously.
My God!
It's very interesting. I'd like to know what's going on there. It could be, of course, stealing and taking them from one shop into another. We don't know. I'm just trying to fill airtime, Mr. Duncan, with something, because I'm aware that we've got very little content.
No, we've got lots of content. I mean, we make the content, Steve.
There's
That's-
an interesting shop.
That's always something.
Duncan, called.
Sorry?
There's an interesting shop called the Cat's Pajamas.
Cat's Pajamas, everyone. There we go. There's a shop here called the Cat's Pajamas. It's actually a cafe. Here we go. So this is another interesting place here in Shrewsbury. It's called the Cat's Pajamas, and this particular shop, well, it's not a shop, it's actually a cafe. They sell snacks, they sell food, they sell coffee, and they sell all sorts of delicious, lovely food that I can't eat anymore because my doctor said you can't eat those things anymore.
And there's lots of little passageways. There's a passageway just to the left of that shop called Gullett's Passage. I don't know if you want to see where that goes, Mr. Duncan.
Well, if we go in there, we will probably lose the live stream. Oh, hello there. What a surprise, says Giovanni. I'm watching Vera, the British detective series. Oh, yes, Vera. She's always a bit miserable, though. I don't like Vera. She's a bit miserable. She never smiles. But then she is always investigating horrible crimes. Let's check YouTube. And you two appeared in front of us. Nice to have you here, Giovanni. So there is the place that Steve just mentioned, and you will find that lots of the streets and roads and corners of Shrewsbury have very weird names. And there, you can see on the screen right now, there is a very good example of a place that has a very strange name
A
indeed.
gullet, of course, is something where you is just down from your mouth when you swallow, your gullet, isn't it?
Well, it's
ma-
any passage, any opening where something can travel through.
so that's obviously you can go somewhere by going down there. Should I go and have a look? There's
Will
a,
you- so if you go and have a look down there, what are you going to tell us when you come back?
I don't know. There's a very ornate post box here, of course, which
Yes.
is quite fascinating.
Well, I'm going to tell you now. This is an original post box from the time, I think, of George V, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think it is. I think this is from a very long time ago. There we go. So this is a very old post box. If I can just zoom out. There we go. An old post box. So this particular post box is very old indeed. Very old. Anyway, Mr. Steve is now going to explore the passage, not for the first time in his life. There he goes. I will see you later, Mr. Steve. Take care of yourself. So Steve is now going down the passage to have a look and see what he finds. I would imagine that there's not much there. This might be the strangest live stream I've ever done. So this particular passage is called Gullet Passage. Gullet. Here he comes. So Steve is coming back now, and I'm sure his description of what he's just seen will be absolutely fascinating. Yes, Mr. Steve is checking everything out to make sure it's all in order. There's some guy watching you then. He thinks you're insane.
I'm insane. Yes, there was a bin there. It's full of beer bottles. Someone had a good night. It's probably from one of the cafes. Oh, by the way, at that cinema, they're showing an opera called Siegfried, which is by Wagner. And so that's something we could come and watch, Mr. Duncan, if we want to watch something operatic. And I've never been to see an opera, which is interesting. I don't think you have either. I'm not sure. Wagner is a bit heavy. It's heavy opera, so I'm not sure if I would like that.
Is it all in Italian?
Well, I think he was German, wasn't he, Wagner? So I think he was German, so it's probably all in German.
A German opera?
I think
Because
it
we
was,
always think of opera as being Italian, don't we? We often think of opera as being Italian. I wish Steve would make up his mind where he's going.
Of course, Mozart wrote operas. He was German. Wagner is sort of heavy opera, very, very, very intense. Very. It's not light opera.
It's a lady with a trident. There is a great phrase, by the way, that refers to opera. It isn't over until the fat lady sings. And as I understand it, that is a reference to opera, because at the end of the opera, normally there is some sort of big performance, or big, would you call it an aria?
Well, that aria is just is a song, isn't it? Yeah, it's
Well-
normally operas end with some dramatic song.
Finale.
Yeah, exactly. So usually with a soprano hitting a high C or something. But yeah, so
What's
it's,
what's a high C?
That's
Can you describe that?
uh,
That might be it sounds like a car alarm going off.
yeah, so it's just a very high note. The top C is for sopranos, and tenors is the note that everyone's trying to reach for that dramatic and the applause that you want to get.
Yes.
But by the way, there's a museum and art gallery behind us, so if Beatrice is watching, she would find that very fascinating to know that there is an art gallery. Maybe some of Beatrice's art is
Mm,
on display.
yeah.
Maybe we could go and look.
Okay. So there you can really get the feeling of this area. It almost looks like somewhere in London. It has a beautiful feeling to it. So it almost looks as if we are in maybe some beautiful part of London, but we're not. We're in Shrewsbury, which is just 17 miles away from where we live in Much Wenlock. I don't know why. I don't know what Steve is doing today. Steve keeps treading on my feet every few seconds. And if you look behind me, there are some people having their lunch. There are some people behind us having lunch.
You're disturbing them. Yes, that's an interesting architecture on that museum and art gallery. It's a sort of
Mm.
Greek sort of design, isn't it, with those columns?
Mock Greek.
Mock Greek. Yes, it's obviously not that old, but
If something is described as mock, it means it's not real or the actual thing. So it is a copy of something, the word mock. So you might describe this particular building. We can have a closer look if you want, Steve. Yeah, I can only show one thing at a time, Steve. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to show you the art gallery now. Here's the art gallery. There it is. So there is the art gallery that Mr. Steve just mentioned. And yes, as you can see, there are lots of almost Roman in design. So that is a beautiful building. I'm not sure when it dates from or how old it is, but I would imagine it is quite old, but certainly not from Roman times. I think it is mock Roman. It
yes,
looks,
did I say Greek? I meant Roman.
yes,
Well,
maybe.
it could be Greek or Roman. I'm
Yes,
not
it's
sure.
very similar.
It's quite beautiful, as is this building over here. There's a very interesting crest, which if we've got time, we're nearly up to the hour now. But there's a very interesting crest on a building.
Crest.
Over here.
Whether Steve wants to show us something else. I can't wait for Steve's description of this. Here we go, Steve. Come on, Steve. Now, Steve, of course, here today is our architecture expert.
If only.
So, no, here we go. So this is what Steve wants to talk about now. Here it is. Come on, Steve.
Well, no, it's just interesting that they put these on buildings, obviously to indicate something. There's a crown there, isn't there? So that could be referring to the kings or queens of the day. There's a dragon.
Yes. Well, I think you'll
Which
find this is the emblem that you see often of the lion and the dragon. So I think it's symbolising the joining together of the Welsh and the English. I would imagine it looks as if it's symbolic of some sort of
Yes,
unification.
that's it. So, yeah, you do see these on a lot of buildings. We're not obviously historic. 1506.
1596.
1596. I couldn't see the end of the 9 there. So look how old that is. That shows you how old this building is, doesn't it, Mr. Duncan?
Yeah, 1596. Go on.
Well, it's over 500 years old, isn't it, Mr.
Yes,
Duncan?
yes.
600 years old, nearly.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's no. You don't expect me to do my maths. Somebody else can do 2026 minus 1596
Jesus.
and come up with an answer for us. But it's obviously quite old.
I might have to delete this because this makes us sound like a couple of complete idiots. But yes, about 400. I would say about 440 years old, around about. Around about.
I wonder how long it takes you to work
So
that
this
out.
building, this building is old. It's very old. It's an old building. It's almost as old as Mr. Steve. In fact, I would imagine at some point there will be a preservation order put on Mr. Steve to preserve him for future generations to look at and wonder, what was this man doing? What did he do with his life?
Well, the hour is up, Mr. Duncan, and
Yes,
I'm hungry.
Steve seems very keen to actually end, and I've just got started. I'm enjoying myself, I have to say. I'm having a great time here today in Shrewsbury. I hope you have all enjoyed it as well. So we will go back to the square, and we will go in a moment. But thank you very much for joining us today. It's been nice having you here, Mr. Steve and myself, wandering around the town of Shrewsbury, a place that has a lot of history surrounding it, full of history, full of it, full of it. Talking of being full of it, Mr. Steve, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been nice having you here.
Back in the sun. It has been fun, Mr. Duncan, and yeah, we've enjoyed talking to you today, and it's nice to appear again on the live stream with Mr. Duncan after a sabbatical, should we say, an absence.
Sabbatical.
Yeah,
You've had a sabbatical, have you?
a sabbatical. That's when you take a break from something, isn't it, and go off and do something else. In reality, of course, I was banned
Yeah.
from the live streams for being too divisive.
Well, not just that, but you also interfere with all the equipment, and that's why the image now that I'm looking at on the screen is not what it should be, because of Mr. Steve's big giant fingers.
Well, things always go wrong when I start jabbing my fingers at the screen.
Yes.
I usually end up sort of deleting people off the live stream and
Yes.
somehow, erasing them.
Okay.
But
Well, today we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about old buildings. Mr. Steve has given us all of the information about pigeons. So if you've ever been curious about the activities of wild pigeons, this definitely was the live stream for you. And I hope you enjoyed all of that information.
the pigeons have gone, and soon shall we be also.
We shall also fly away soon. I wish I had my reading glasses.
A big hug for Mr. Steve.
Thanks a
Thank you.
lot.
Big
Thank-
hug for you too, Beatrice.
Thanks a lot, Beatrice. Thank you for your big hug. I need it.
And
I
thank
look-
you to everybody for
Thank-
being on there today on the live stream. Could you do a live lesson or normal one about your shed and expressions related to it? Yes, who says that? Oh, no, I'm not going to touch the screen.
No,
'cause-
don't touch the screen, Steve. We are going in a moment. But yes, it is a good idea. We have lots of things planned, you see. Lots of things planned. But the problem is having the time to do it, and also sometimes having the motivation to do it. Sometimes it is possible. Even I sometimes can be a little bit lazy. It's true.
That sun is lovely, Mr. Duncan.
Be careful, Mr. Steve.
warmth of the
We don't want
sun.
you to go all wrinkly like an old prune.
Exactly. My youth is everything. That's how I make my income.
Mr. Steve has to try and keep hold of his youth. He puts a big lock on the door.
Prego. I'm sure that's Italian, isn't it?
That's the shop that I've been in before. In fact, can I let you in on a secret? The shop behind us that Mr. Steve just mentioned, the green shop there, that particular shop, I did buy a very interesting shirt from there, and I will be wearing that shirt on our special live stream that we are doing from London. And we will be live in London on the 31st of May. So London is where we will be. And guess what? If you would like to join us in London, you are also welcome to do so as well. That is on May the 31st. We will be live in London,
Yes, and I'll be there too.
and I will be showing off my new shirt that I bought from that shop over there.
Yes, so it's been wonderful being here today, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And but now we're going to get something to eat, and go outside from the cold, biting wind, which feels like there's a wind chill factor down to about 5 degrees here.
I have to say, I was surprised how cold it was, but now the sun has come out, and I have to say it's not so bad now. I think I might stay here for another hour.
Well, you can, Mr. Duncan, but I'm going inside. I fancy some chicken today. Bit of chicken, a quarter of a chicken, half a chicken. Yeah.
I'm not sure what I might have. I might have some pasta, maybe a little bit of pasta, or maybe something with perhaps vegetables, or maybe something with a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a little bit of lamb, perhaps. Anyway, thank you very much for your company today. I hope you've enjoyed the live stream, and I will see you again on Sunday. Don't forget, I am back on Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time on Sunday. I will be with you live on Sunday. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you, Mr. Steve, and we will see you another time. I don't know when, and I don't know where, but I will see you again one day on the live chat.
Take care, everyone, and see you again soon.
Thank you very much.
I'll fade away.
Steve is fading away. Thank you very much for watching. See you later. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you never know where I will be next time. I could be somewhere interesting or somewhere unusual, perhaps. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. This is Mr. Duncan in the centre of Shrewsbury, saying thank you very much for watching. See you later. And of course, until the next time we meet here, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Take care of yourselves, and ta-ta for now. See you on Sunday.